This is our story, Beware Ducks Crossing. Whenever you see an exclamation mark, it's like somebody's shouting, Beware Ducks Crossing. By Uriel, Ofek and illustrated by Shebo. This is the spine of our book. Do you have a spine? Check on your back. This is the back cover. It's bright yellow like a caution sign. And here is another sign from our story. Beware Ducks Crossing. In a little garden in a village, there lived a mother duck and her 6 little yellow ducklings. On one side of the garden stretched a long road. Behind it flowed a stream. On the other side of the garden stood a home. 3 people lived there, Mother, Father, and Emilio. Emilio liked to help his parents work. Emilio also liked to watch the mother duck and her ducklings. She marched along, left, right, with her ducklings waddling along behind her. Left, right. One day, Emilio watched them all marching along toward the road. They started to cross it without even looking from side to side. Look how careless they are, Emilio thought. What if a car comes along? Left, right. The mother duck crossed the road and waddled straight toward the stream. A moment later, all 7 of them were enjoying a swim in the water. How nice they look, thought Emilio, smiling to himself. After a while, the mother duck stepped out of the water. Let's go, she quacked. It's time to go home. So the ducklings followed her out of the water and lined up behind her. They marched back toward the road and started to cross. All of a sudden, eek! There was the most awful screech. A car skidded to a halt, just missing the ducks. They all ran to the garden as frightened as could be. The driver closed his eyes with relief. Emilio's heart was pounding. Thump, thump, thump. The driver saw Emilio and shouted to him through the window. What's going on here? Is that how you let them cross the road without paying attention? Thank goodness I'm a careful driver. Then he started his car and drove away. The driver's right, thought Emilio. Mother Duck doesn't know how to be careful. She is putting herself and her ducklings in danger. I have to do something to look after them. But what? He thought and thought until an idea popped into his head. Emilio went back home. About an hour later, he came out again holding a pole. On one end, it had a piece of cardboard with a picture on it. Emilio walked over to the side of the road. He tried to stick the pole in the soft earth. It was not easy, but he did not give up. Suddenly, Emilio heard someone speaking to him. Hey, Emilio, what are you doing here? Emilio turned his head and saw a policeman on a motorcycle. It was Manuel. Emilio pressed down the earth around the pole. I am putting up a road sign, he said. A road sign? Manuel walked up to the pole. He looked at the drawing on the piece of cardboard. On it, Emilio had drawn a row of ducks. Is that a road sign? Manuel asked again. Yes, said Emilio, a road sign for my ducks. The drivers will see it and slow down so that the ducks can cross safely. That is what the drivers do when they drive past my preschool. Will you let me stand the road sign up properly? Asked Manuel. Emilio agreed. And a few minutes later, the road sign was standing up straight. A driver passing by in a little car looked at it, smiled, and drove on. Thank you, said Emilio, but this is not enough. I also want to paint a pedestrian crossing on the road for the ducks. I don't think you should do that, said Manuel. That's very dangerous work, especially for a young boy who is hard to see from far away. But what shall we do? Worried Emilio. Don't worry, everything will be all right, said Manuel. He got back on his motorcycle, waved, and drove away. Emilio walked back to the garden. Everything will be all right, he repeated to himself. What did the policeman mean? A day passed, then another. On the third morning, the mother duck left the garden again with her 6 little yellow ducklings. Again they followed behind her in a straight line, left, right, waddling as they walked. Emilio hurried out of the garden. He quickly caught up with the ducks and reached the road before them. Then he saw something that made him cry out in delight. Across the whole width of the road, there were broad white lines. Someone had come there in the night and had painted a pedestrian crossing on the road. And that was not all. Next to Emilio's road sign was an iron pole with another new road sign on the top. Clearly painted on this road sign was a picture of a boy and a duck crossing the road. What a surprise! Who prepared this great surprise? Emilio wondered. Then he heard the sound of a horn. It was Manuel, the policeman. He drove up slowly to the crossing, stopped, and smiled at Emilio. Another car stopped alongside him. Emilio smiled too. Come along, follow me, he called to the ducks, who by now had reached the side of the road. Now you can cross. And they all crossed the road together, Emilio in the lead, followed by the mother duck and her 6 ducklings. Left, right, how nice they are, said Emilio. Then he turned to the policeman on the motorcycle and added, You're nice, too.